Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today I'm going to show you how to make some quick edits to the watch and phone stands here. I recommend just using the correct material size, that way you don't have to make any edits at all. This uses the 1/8 inch proof grade medium plywood materials from Glowforge. Those come with masking tape on both sides, so to get the exact measurement to make sure it's going to work, it'll come out to 0.137 inches or really close to it. And it's so close that that number usually doesn't matter, but that can affect either the tightness or the looseness of the design. So I'm going to show you guys how to make some edits based on that. So if you're using a different size material, just keep in mind this has never been tested with a different size, and you will have to make edits based on how loose or tight the design is. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to make some edits to that. These have been doing really well for people. I have 5 new designs out for the watch stands and the phone stands. And then here's a quick look at like the charge up docking station that has like the phone, the MagSafe charger, the Apple charger, and then I've included editor files for each of these designs, and I'm going to show you that here too. So let's go ahead and jump into this and we'll get started. So right before we get started here, I want to show you guys how the file comes. This is our Apple Watch docking station file that we were just looking at. Comes with a battery cutout logo. That is just a logo that's cut out. I'll show you that in just a second. It comes with a blank version that you can add your own engraves. It comes with 3D instructions to show you exactly how to assemble it in which order as well. And then it comes with the bonus editor files that you can make edits to the Apple charging fit here. And I'm going to show you that too. And then lastly, if you have a third-party program, you will use this troubleshooting-PDF versions every single time if you have anything other than Illustrator. So if you have anything other than Illustrator, open up this file and then choose which version you want in the editor file right from here. Right click, click open with, and then choose your third-party program such as Inkscape in this example here, or Silhouette, Lightburn, Corel Draw, Rhino, any third party, use the PDF files. So now that we got that all out of the way, we're going to be using the battery cutout version here and the bonus Apple Watch charger version. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. So basically what we're going to do is, let's just say your material is slightly thinner than the material that you're using. Let's just say it's just barely loose. I would recommend just staying with 1/8 inch materials of any type, whether that's acrylic or wood. Plywood is going to work the best, and the material that's exactly made for it because it's stronger. But if you use like a softer material or even like a more brittle material like acrylic, you will have to make adjustments. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So we're going to zoom in here just so you can see what's going on. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to make adjustments to every single one of these slots. So these right here. And then you may even have to change this piece, and then you're going to change the actual tabs that go outwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do an example with this piece right here. We're going to change these tabs. So let's say you're using acrylic. Acrylic tends to run a little bit thinner than actual wood. So in this example, let's just say it's 0.13. We're going to change it to 0.13, and you'll see that shrink as soon as I click off. You can barely tell it shrink because it's not that big of a difference. We're going to do the next one over here. We're going to 0.13, and there we go. We made the adjustments for acrylic to make that tighter if that is your size acrylic there. And then you'll do that same thing for all these other tabs. For the sake of time, I'm not going to edit these other tabs. And then this is the battery cutout logo that I was talking about. So right now it just has this cutout, so it shows through. If you don't like the cutout, you can either delete it from this one or use the blank version and add your own engraving there. So now that we have the slots out of the way on how to edit it, that is how you edit the width of the slots if, for example, after you edit the width, it's still too tight up and down for the kerf settings that I have for my machine, then all you got to do is change this height tab to whatever you need it to be, and then you'll be good to go with that too. So now that we have that out of the way, one thing you're going to have to watch out for is this piece. After you edit this, it may slightly change. So I'm going to put that right here, and we're going to zoom in. As you can see, it's a little bit of an overlap now. It's just barely, because we barely changed it. But what we want to do here is we want to select all of these nodes right here on the outside rim of this piece. And once you have all of these nodes selected, what we're going to do is we're going to use our arrow keys and move it over a little bit just so we can get it out of the way and see what's going on. You'll click hold and then hold shift and control until it locks into this pathway right here. Now, as you can see, this is actually going to fit up, and it's not going to cause your legs to expand because this piece holds in the legs here. One other thing, if you want to get really picky in this situation, is you can change just the outside tab right here. As you can see, this outside tab is not matching up perfectly with this pathway. So you can do the exact same thing where you can hold shift, you can move this around, but you want to make sure it's straight until you're right on that pathway. So yeah, as you can see, I messed that up here. There we go. So right on that pathway, that would be where it would be perfectly flush with your material. So you can do the same thing. You'll have to do the same exact thing with the other tabs as well. So for example, with this one, these are where it's going to get a little bit harder because you have to make sure this is perfectly straight with the actual material. You want to make sure this is perfectly straight so the new tab that you edit comes out perfectly straight here. So I'm going to leave that up to you. That is the hardest part, is make sure this line is perfectly straight. Edit that tab straight out or back in this case, since it's a thinner material. But you want to match this up with the thickness of the two different layers in this situation. That way it comes out perfectly flush with the front. So that's pretty much how you make edits to the tabs and the slots of the design. Now we're going to jump into how you make an edit for the fit of your Apple Watch charger. If your Apple Watch charger is a little loose, as the instructions say, you can just add a small piece of 3mm tape in here, and that will hold the charger in no problems. But if you want it to be nice and snug based on your laser's kerf, which is the amount of material that's eroded away from the laser, you can adjust the thickness of this circle here with our editor file. So we're going to open up the editor file. It looks like this. I made one that's slightly looser. If you have too tight of a circle originally, this one will be slightly looser. If you have too loose of a material circle, this one's slightly tighter. But if you need a custom fit between this or above and beyond this, you can use this editor file right here. It tells you how to use it right here, but I'm going to bring this over into the other file so you can see what's going on. So as you can see, I'm going to zoom in here again. This one is already on two different pieces here. They are grouped together so they don't get moved, but once you do this, you're going to make sure just the circle is selected here. Once the circle is selected, as you can see, they're the exact same width and height. You're going to link those two together, and let's just say the Apple Watch charger won't fit at all for you. Let's just say it's too tight whenever you create acrylic. You're going to have to loosen this up. So we're going to change just the last number from a 5 to a 6, and then that's going to change both the width and the height now that we have it linked. So we made that slightly looser. You can test the file again for just this piece, and then it should fit a little bit looser for your Apple Watch to fit in there. And then if you need even more loose, then you just change that 6 to a 7 and work your way up until you find the right fit and kerf for your laser and material. Like I said, with proof grade material, this tends to work pretty much every single time with the correct material, and you won't have to do editing. But if you want to venture out and you do all of these edits on your own, feel more than free to. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that. Once that is all done, let's just say that number 7 there that we changed it to is the correct size. You'll just make sure both is selected. Use your Pathfinder tool. If you don't have it over here, you'll click on Window, choose Pathfinder, and then it'll open up. And then once you have that selected, you'll just choose the Unite button. It's the first button on Pathfinder. And as you can see, it now united. And once we have this whole thing selected, this will perfectly match up over top of this here. So this is our edited file. This is the old file. We'll just delete the old one. And we're going to use this new edited file here. One thing that you're going to have to look out for, though, is since we changed the width of these tabs, you're going to have to make sure you change the width of these tabs as well if you're using the editor file. So just go back in, change those tabs to match these, and then you're all set. I'm going to change this to red just because I want it to match up with the rest of this material that I'm going to cut on one sheet. And then this material is a secondary layer that I want in a different color. That's why I have it in 2 different colors there. But that is pretty much how you make adjustments to both the Apple Watch tightness with the editor files, and it'd be the same exact way for the MagSafe files if you buy any MagSafe designs. And then that's how you change edits to the tabs and slots here. And that's pretty much it. You would just save this file as a PDF and then upload it straight to your program, and you'll be good to go. And then lastly, a real quick look at that charge up docking station I was talking about. You'll do the exact same thing with those, where you'll edit every single slot to your material size, and then you'll edit all the tabs to double the thickness of your material because they're dual layered in every situation here. That'll be with this piece, every single piece will need adjust. So this takes quite a bit of time to make adjustments to like really thick materials, for example. If you're really close to the exact materials size that's listed, you may not have to make any adjustments at all, or you might have to use just a little drop of glue to hold it into place if it's slightly loose. Other than that, you guys, this has been Josh with Fresh Start Customs. I hope you guys enjoy these new stands. They're doing really well for people. They look amazing. Here's just a real quick look at like the MagSafe version of this charge up docking station. Got one for Android with non-smartwatch, and the iPhone with a corded iPhone and the smartwatch. And then here's all the rest as well. So we have like 3-in-1, the minimalist stand, and the MagSafe stand as well. So here's like the 3-in-1, that minimalist stand, and the MagSafe docking station. These have been doing great for people. I wanted to get a video out for you guys on how to edit it. If you want to make edits, that's going to be all on you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the product. I hope you enjoyed the video. And thanks for supporting me. And we'll see you guys in the next one.